This is LXBN TV, and I'm Colin O'Keefe. It has been a busy time of year for whistleblower awards, and the latest comes now from OSHA, as the agency handed out more than $1 million to 4 truck drivers. To explain the details and its impact, we bring in our go-to source on these whistleblower matters, attorney Steve Pearlman of Proskauer, an author on the firm's blog, Proskauer Whistleblower Defense. Steve, first off, can you run us through the basics of this specific award? What exactly happened here?
Sure, Colin. In this case, according to the press release that we received from OSHA, you had 4 truckers who claimed that they were subject to employment retaliation because they participated in a Department of Transportation investigation. The timing at issue, and all of this is according to the press release too. We haven't had time to do a FOIA request. It's not otherwise on the public record. So just to give you that caveat. Now, in this case, the folks participated in an investigation, and then approximately 7 days later, their employment was terminated and they lost certain benefits. So what you can glean from looking at the press release is that OSHA's award is principally driven by the temporal proximity. However, as many courts have said time and again, temporal proximity doesn't tell the whole story in many cases. I'm very curious to see what the company's defenses are. There could be a world of different defenses out there that we're not aware of because they're not set forth in any degree of detail in the press release. So query how far this is going to go. But what's most interesting to me about this award is that the vast majority of the award is in punitive damages and compensatory damages because these folks were reinstated. Unfortunately, one of the individuals passed away, but the other 3 were reinstated. And so the amount of money in terms of back pay doesn't appear to have been that large. It's the compensatory and the punitive damages, particularly the punitive damages, which I think sends a very loud and clear message that OSHA really means business here.
Absolutely. So the big thing here, of course, we've talked about a lot of whistleblower awards lately, including another one from OSHA. So are we seeing a trend here? Just how big of a deal is this, and how much attention do employers need to pay to this type of thing?
I think your question about whether or not we're seeing a trend here is spot on, because in our last interview, we talked about an OSHA award that came out at the very end of September that was nearly $1.9 million. Now, that was in a Sarbanes-Oxley whistleblower case. It's important for folks to understand that we're dealing with the same investigators here at OSHA, and the investigators at OSHA enforce and investigate 22 approximately whistleblower laws. So while this law comes under the STAA and the other award came under SOX, again, remember, it's the same organization, the same agency that's investigating these claims. And it is plausible, therefore, that we're seeing a trend towards much larger awards, towards reinstatement. This isn't the first of its kind, and we're starting to see an uptick now in OSHA taking very serious action and issuing very large awards. So what are employers to do is the question. Well, employers certainly need to take heed. We're on notice now that OSHA is rigorously enforcing these laws. So it's very important that OSHA approaches these matters with the sort of gravity that they deserve in light of these risks. I think the first step, though, is awareness that when you walk into an OSHA whistleblower investigation, you're dealing with a different kind of animal than you may expect, and you need to put that super high on your radar.
Absolutely. These are becoming more and more serious matters, and there's something companies need to pay attention to, particularly, of course, if they end up in an investigation themselves. Once again, that was Steve Pearlman of Proskauer. For his insight on this reward and other whistleblower issues, be sure to visit whistleblowerdefense.com. It's whistleblower-defense.com. And as always, for more of our interviews with attorneys like Steve, be sure to visit us at lxbn.com, where you can also find curated commentary from the Lex Blog Network's more than 8,000 members. Thanks for joining me, Steve. It's a pleasure, as always.
Thanks very much, Colin.